The sudden weight of my son's hand on my shoulder, the damp chill of his breath near my ear, was what pulled me from sleep. "Dad, wake up," he whispered, urgent, not frantic. "We have to go. Don't make a sound." I didn't question it. The absolute necessity in Leo's eyes was more compelling than any alarm. "What is it?" I asked, already lifting Mia, my daughter, still asleep, from her bed. We crept downstairs, the floorboards silent beneath our practiced steps, and got into the car, pulling out silently without lights. As we drove onto the main street, the silence in the car was thick, metallic. Leo gripped the armrest, his jaw tight. "Look behind now," he finally said, his voice flat, pointing back toward our house window. I glanced in the rearview mirror, my blood turning to ice. A dim, yellow light flickered in our master bedroom, quickly masked, then exposed again. A phone screen. And standing too close to the glass, a shadowy silhouette. Two figures. One was Sarah, my wife. The other was taller, broader. Not a burglar. This wasn't an escape from a threat, but an escape from her. The deep, sick realization settled. My son knew something I didn't. He hadn't run from a stranger, he'd saved us from our mother. We stopped at a sterile, faceless hotel 20 miles away. Leo didn't cry. He was cold, utterly composed, a strategist already calculating the next move. He handed me a small, encrypted USB drive. "Everything," he said, the single word a crushing indictment. For weeks, he'd been logging Sarah's activity, the late-night texts, the burner phone, the meeting locations. The true terror wasn't the infidelity, it was the intent. She wasn't planning a simple departure, she was planning to execute a vanishing act, liquidating my assets, draining the accounts, and using the children as emotional leverage. The other man wasn't just a lover, he was the legal strategist for her escape. I accessed the final file on the drive. It was a scanned, time-stamped document. Not a divorce petition, not a stock transfer. It was the life insurance policy. She had changed the beneficiary designation to her lover and scheduled the policy to vest tomorrow. The goal wasn't just to steal money, it was to eliminate the obstacle entirely. She knew I'd discover the financial betrayal eventually. Leo hadn't just saved us from a secret, he'd saved us from a staged accident. The sun was just breaking as I drove back. The house looked pristine, an immaculate shell built over years of corrosive deceit. She was in the dining room, packing an expensive suitcase. I stood in the doorway. My voice was level, almost bored. "Did you really think I'd let you cash that policy, Sarah? The one scheduled for vesting at noon?" Her hands froze on the zipper. The mask broke entirely, revealing panic, rage, and a brief, shocking flicker of pure, murderous calculation. Before she could construct the first lie, I pulled out my phone. "Officer Hayes," I said clearly, watching her face crumble. "The staged disappearance is off. We need to upgrade the warrant to conspiracy to commit murder. Start tracking her offshore accounts immediately, and tell the forensics team my son has already provided them with the full encrypted communication logs." I ended the call. I watched her collapse, the suitcase and its contents spilling onto the rug. No pity. Only the icy clarity of a man who realized his 20-year marriage was nothing more than a lethal, protracted scam. I stepped over the spilled clothes and walked out into the cold morning light. I had been weak enough to trust. I wouldn't be weak enough to look back. The life she built was over. Mine, however, was just beginning.